Hello there. Welcome to Search for the Subbending Continued. Avatar The Last Airbender, if it restarted the universe, you know the gist. You've seen the title, or if you haven't, then you can easily read it. It's right below the video. I mean, I guess if you're in full screen, then you can't easily read it. But you can just exit full screen and then go back into full screen. You're fine. Everything's fine. So more fifth bending elements, or what we know as sub-bending elements, if you know what I mean, if I'm right. So, let's dive in. So, might be like, what now? We have all these sub-bendings? Well, what about fire sub-benderings? So, there's a group of these lava benders that are just like, hey, we want to go find somewhere else and colonize it for ourselves. They land over here and okay, this is nice land. So they take this land in their luxurious green luxurious dark teal color. Yes, dark teal. The dark teal tribe. So take this area, and I'm happy campers. Yeah, I don't know. Are they campers? Nobody knows. And they're just firebending until one of them gets, I don't know, a tattoo or something. I don't know how exactly this forms, but they combustion bend. They try to fire bend, and they actually explode something from a distance and almost kill themselves. So there's this combustion legion that forms. Let's just say it's this other dark teal color that's literally called the same color. And they're we are the we are the Sparky Boom Man region. Yeah. So they're small, and they only have let's say they get eventually 7 people under their belt. They used to have 10, but 3 of them died because combustion bending. But because they're so powerful, they eventually they start taking over this area and taking it over and waging war. And eventually, the Dark Teal team's no, we shall take this area back because they have a big city there. Because in the greatest city in the world, was oh, you dare challenge me? I take more of your land over here and over here and over Dover and Dover, Delaware. And then they take even more of thy land over to here. They're haha, hee, yahoo! And they take all this land up to this area with all their combustion Sparky Boom Man powers. So they're okay, we can stop warring. So this is the borders, and they're we want even more land, but we are fine with the peace treaty, but they go to over here. They're take this land. Also, the Dark Team land's we also want to take some land over here, and get more coastline, but they're like, but the other dark teal is like, hey, the Sparky Booming clan is like, hey, you do not get all the coastline. We want to take your coastline. Because they are jerks. And do very jerky things. So they have very little coastline. And then like, hey, the desert's like, hey, land and river for access to water? Water? And like the light blue is like, hey, can we chime in? But chim chime? No, they do not take it over. That would be very impressive though. And then they take this area. One color. East one takes this area, and then they are like this. And very cool. The dark teal team did not get the best out of this whole deal, but I mean, the Sparky Boom Man team is doing pretty well for itself. So now we have Combustion Benders. New character unlocked. So that is cool. They are very strong, even though there's not that many of them. There's probably they probably take some of the firebenders, but they have a lot more population in total, but most of them are just normal firebenders and non-benders, but there's probably 53 normal combustion benders in there, because they're combustion bending is hard and a lot of people die, but they are very strong, so it doesn't even matter. So yeah. Okay, so these firebenders, we are kind of bad around these combustion benders, so they're like, let's set up a new area over here. No, not the whole area. That would be muy impresivo. I know that's not impressive in Spanish. I don't know. What is impressive in Spanish? I don't know. Who knows? Nobody. So they made a colony over here. But the combustion benders wanted to screw them over, because why wouldn't you want to screw them over? I don't know. So they're like, and then woo, and take this land over, so they can have not as much coastline. And then they're like, oh wait, we still want some coastline, so they kind of go over here. But then they're like, nani. And they're like, nope. You can't get that much. We will choke you off at your roots. And they go like this and to there. It's okay, if we can't have coastal land, we'll take this land at least. So they did. This is the land. Their border is very messy, but I don't know. I mean, maybe they like Messi. Messi is better than Ronaldo. I mean, that's just facts. So I don't know. We need messier borders in here. So, but the firebenders over here are firebending. And they start thinking about what they can do with firebending. And meanwhile, some of them go back to over here and share their combustion bending. And there's a lot of mountains here, and it creates stormy weather in this coast because of the rain water coming down over here because of the mountains. Yeah, over here. Over here sounds good. Sorry, apparently I have COVID. Nah, but, they're like, hey, let's expand the land. And they find lightning bending shocking. Literally, because it's lightning. I'm so funny. So they discover this lightning bending. It's like lava benders are like, oh, no way, you do not take our land. So they're like, and then it's like, and they kind of want coast. Yeah, it's just benders. But these lava benders are good near the volcanoes at the peaks and like kind of push them down, and they're like, wait, if they're good at the peaks, what about the sea? Because they can electrocute the sea, so they start like kind of like going around the coast and like can't stop them too well. And yeah, I'm gonna have a little intermission here. Yeah, so basically they kind of just expand along the coastline, and the lava bender is honestly a bit hard to stop them because they don't want to, like, the only way they're getting lava down there is if they, like, set off a volcano, and I can think of, many reasons why that wouldn't be good, because, the volcanoes can go more than one way, and, like, they might kill people, and also, I don't know if their lava benders are really that strong. So it creates this, like, weird border dispute over here. But the lava benders try and, like, cut them off of their land by, like, cutting them off over here. At this point. Is that the right color? Oh, wait, that's not the right color. And they're, like, a narrow point over here. They kind of do that. It's, like, messy. But they're, like, they generally keep this border. But, like, some of the lightning benders are like, hey, we don't want this anymore. We want to, like, go back to, like, this area. And then some lightning benders go over here to this island. And they're, like, land. So they take over this area, and like, we want control of this territory. So they kind of control it, and like the combustion benders see this as a perfect opportunity to swoop in and take this land. Not the combustion benders, these guys, the non-combustion benders. Combustion benders are light blue. They're like, oh, third party into this thing, but also like this feud. But they want, like, it's just like, oops. They also kind of like want coastline and are being a bit ambitious. So it kind of looks like this. This is kind of where it settles, and now their borders are even worse. Ugh. It's honestly kind of ugly. So, yep. Fun. You see? But there's more. The combustion benders want access to this river around this, like, for their city over here, and they kind of, like, take this area, but then, like, they're like, oh, wait, that's not cool. We take this area back because they, got a decent army, because, like, a lot of combustion benders are accidentally killing themselves because it's not, like, it's, yeah, you know why. You've seen combustion benders. Literally every combustion bender we've seen has died. It's 100% mortality rate. Yeah, that's not working. Yeah, so they hold on to this territory over here. And it's weird. It's got an enclave. Then dark blue team kind of attacks this area down here, and it's like weird, and it kind of stays like that. So it's got this like really weird aesthetic here. But yeah, lightning bending. Lightning benders are also actually pretty powerful with the lightning, and they can zappy zap people, and they gain a bit like of prestige on the world stage. Like, ooh, lightning bending. The thing is, there's like people are trying to disprove that there's a fifth element, but combustion bending and lightning bending are a lot harder to disprove. Because, like, combustion bending, it's explosions. And, like, the fire, like, the Earth thing from last episode that I was talking about, he's actually dead. I don't know, he died from, like, old age-related causes. Or that's at least what they say. He might have died from an assassination. Nobody actually knows. Firebender guy is like, hey, like, you can actually turn fire into explosion, just like, you can, like, shoot regular fire and then explode it using like fire bending, and was like showing that. And then combustion bending got disproved as a fifth element, or technically six, they were thinking. And then lightning bending was also very hard to disprove, because lightning isn't fire. They're two different things. Even if lightning benders can fire bend, like, what's the difference? So this lightning bending as a fifth element sticks around for way longer than any of the other possibilities for fifth element. But there were like some arguments like, oh, lightning can create fire, you can set things on fire, but it's like, they're like, well, that's not enough proof. Like, technically rubbing like a lot of things together can create fire. Like, you know, lava can like create fires, like, but lava's like an earth bending, so it's just like, how do we know it's not an earth-bending move? So they're like, whole dispute, but like, and honestly this goes on for a while, but most people are just like, no, firebenders can't, like, how would two bendings coexist? This is the only, explanation is that it's a sub-bending, because, like, how else would they coexist with each other? So there's still disputes about that, but like, people come to a general consensus about that. So, yeah, that happened. Still kind of happening. You know what I mean? And might be like, oh, where's metal bending? Metal bending, like in Legend of Korra, kind of comes a bit later, but metal bending. You see, you have some earthbenders over here upset with how small their land is, because like they kind of got taken over by this orange lava bender area. So they try expanding over to this land that they found. So they're like, oh, let's expand to this land and the man of the land. And they expand, and they do decently well for themselves, going across these rivers and around this earthy terrain. And they find metal deposits here, like deposits, like decent sized chunks of metal. And one of them like bends the metal, and they're like, whoa. So they kind of turn into this metal bending tribe, and they're like, oh my god. So there's this like dark gray color over here, turns into this metal bending tribe. And they do really well with metal bending, because they can create structures out of metal. Metal's very durable. So they kind of start popping off over here and just like, and now they found giant metal deposits in the Fire Nation over here. So they're like, oh, and then they expand across this land of the metal land of the clan of the man of the rhyming tan. So it's just like, what? And so that's like cool. And borders, wait, no, those are those the same color? What? Let me color pick this. And then oh, those are, no, they're different colors. They're just very similar. Okay, that's fine. So they like expand over here and like, oh, cool. So that happens, and then like the pink team over here is like, oh, time for expansion for the lantern of the mansion for expansion. Purple team over here is like, oh, we also want to expand, but it's like weird borders. And then this putrid green color is like, oh, expansion, lantern of the mansion of the all this lantern, luncheon. And then the yellow team also expands a bit over here, and everyone is happy. I don't know if everyone's happy. Some people might not be. But yeah, this is what happened in the episode. Thanks for watching. Tune in for the next one. And remember, if we get 40 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll be creating a new channel. So subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. And if we get to 40 subscribers, then yeah, you know it's coming. So thank you for watching Avatar Nerds, and stay tuned for my next video, and subscribe.
This place is worse than a mush!